Hello friends, this is Jayant Rohankar working as Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology. So friends, today we are going to learn about attributes, entity and the relationship set. So this is the part of database management system. So we will move ahead and we will see an entity sets. A database can be modeled as a collection of entities, relationship among the entities. So database which is designed, it should be the collection of entities, and the relationship among that entities will collectively called as a database. What is meant by entity then? An entity is an object that exists and is distinguishable from other objects. Means we can say that entity is an object in the real world. Whatever object you can consider it, and you can store the database, you can create the database, and it is called as an entity. For example, specific person, company, event and plant may be an entity. So entity may be anything, and we can create the database, we can make the database by using that entity, and the relationship should be there among that entity sets. Entities have attributes. Each entity, regarding that we want to store the data, we want to make a data for that entity, we need an attributes. So each entity having an attributes. For example, people have name and addresses. People have names and addresses. So names and addresses are two attributes for the entity people. An entity set is a set of entities of the same type that share the same properties. So entity set means the set of entities of the same type, means similar type of entities will make the set of entity that share the same type of properties, right? So the example for this entity set of all persons having the different having the same properties. A company, they are dealing with the same product and all. So trees, holidays, these are some sets of entity, or example of some sets of entity. So here in this example we will see that entity set customer and loan. So in this example there is one entity customer and another entity is loan. So we can see that there are attributes, number of attributes which are included in entity customer, and there are two attributes in loan entity. So customer entity is having customer ID is one attribute, customer name is second attribute, customer street is third attribute, and customer city is the fourth attributes. Accordingly, loan entity is having loan and amount, loan number and amount. So these two attributes are belong to entity loan. So this is what the structure of entity, and we can say combinedly it is the entity set, and they must have relation among themselves also. Then we will see about attributes, what is attribute means, and what is the use of attributes in the database management system or in the entity relationship. An entity is represented by a set of attributes, that is descriptive properties possessed by all members of an entity set. So each and every entity represented by the set of attributes. That attributes describe the entity. So all the member of entity set are described by means of the attributes. So by using the attributes we can define, we can say that this entity is belong to such and such type of entity. So attribute will describe an entity set. So here example is given Customer is an entity having the attribute customer ID, customer name, customer street, customer city. And loan is having a loan entity is having loan number and amount as two attributes. Loan number and amount is described to entity, say entity loan, and customer entity can be described by using customer ID, customer name, customer city, street, and customer city. So this is what the role of attribute to describe an entity set. Then domain, the set of permitted values for each attribute is called a domain. Suppose we will take example of an account. So account value should not be 0, so -1 or less than 0 value will not be permitted in account balance. So this is what the set of permitted value for each attribute. So each attribute having their specific minimum value, that is called a domain of that attribute. Then we will see what are the various types of attributes and how they are used. So simple and composite attributes are there. Then single value and multi-valued attributes are there. Simple and composite attributes, then single valued and multi-valued attributes. And example of single valued and multi-valued attributes are given here. Multi-valued attributes are phone number. Then derived attributes can be computed from other attributes like age, given date of birth. Means age can be defined on the basis of date of birth. If we know the date of birth of any person, we can easily calculate what is the age of that particular person. So this is what the derived attributes. So we are talking about contribute attributes now. So composite attributes are like name, and they are defining other attributes. Like name is divided into 3 parts, that is first name, middle name, or middle initial, or last name. Then like this name, address is also divided into 4 parts, that is street, city, state, postal code, like that. Then street is again divided into street number, street name, apartment number, like that. So this is what the composite attribute. And this street, city, state, and postal, here street is again divided into 3 parts or 3 attributes, and this is what the street is a component attribute. So this is what about the composite attribute. This is one of the type of attribute, and it is very important. Then we will move toward the relationship sets. First of all, what is meant by relationship? So relationship is an association among the several attributes. For example, his depositor A102. So here these are his and 102 are the attribute of the entity customer. So customer is an entity having the relationship set account entity. So the relationship which is mentioned or which is represented between 2 attributes, that is customer and loan, 2 entity set, that is customer and loan, it is the depositor relationship. So this is what the relationship among the 2 entities. Then a relationship set is a mathematical relation among n is greater than or equal to 2 entities, each taken from entity sets. Here small e1, e2 up to en that is E1 belong to E1, capital E1, small e2 belong to capital E2, small en belong to capital En. So capital E is nothing but the entity and small e represent the relationship set. So example is given here. His comma A102 belongs to depositor. So relationship here is the depositor relationship amongst the entity set, two entity sets, and his is the name of customer having the loan number A102, and the relationship among the two entity set is the depositor relationship. So that's why it is a depositor, means both entity set, that is customer and loan, belong to depositor relationship set. Here in this example we can see that there is a relationship between two entities, that is customer and loan. That relationship is of borrower relationship. So customer and loan are having the borrower relationship among themselves. So we will see the example here from record 1. Customer name is Jones, having the loan number L17. Accordingly, Williams having loan number L17 also. So two customers are borrowing the same type of loan, and Smith is borrowing two type of loans. Two loan number is allocated to Smith, and that is L23 and L11. So we can say which customers are borrowing which loan is represented by this relationship, borrower relationship. So customer borrowed the loan, that is given by means of the borrower relationship among these two entity set. Then relationship set is represented here with the attributes also. An attribute can also be the property of relationship set. For instance, the depositor relationship set between entity set, customer and account may have attribute access date. So this is what the example of relationship, where the attribute also working as an relationship. It shows the relationship among two entity, that is the customer and account. Customer name is given here with from the customer table, and account number is given from the account number. Now both the table can access by using the date of accessing, that is the access date. It is the attribute of relationship set or relationship depositor among these two entity. So whatever transaction which will be done by the customer and what is the balance, we will check the account by using the access date of that particular customer. So this access date is playing the role of depositor entities, relationship set among these two customers, that is customer and account. Then we will see what is the degree of relationship set. Degree of relationship set refers to the number of entity set that participate in relationship set. How many number of entity sets that are participate to or involved in the relationship set, that is given by means of the degree of relationship set. Relationship set that involve two entity set are called a binary degree or degree 2. Generally most relationship set in a database system are of the binary relationship set. Relationship set may involve more than two entity set also. So in that case what will happen? For example, suppose employee of bank may have job responsibilities at multiple branches with different job at different branches. Then there is a ternary relationship set between entity set, employee, job and branch. So this is what the ternary relationship set. If there are three entity set involved in the relationship set, relationships between more than two entity sets are rare. Most relationships are binary type of relationship. So thank you very much.